Okay guys, so can you tell us about a job that you held before YouTube and then how you got into YouTube and what your YouTube business is right now or how you're making money right now?
Okay, so if we just want to talk about a singular job that I had, I used to work as a car salesman actually. This wasn't right before I was doing YouTube, but I used to work as a car salesman. It was the worst job, one of the worst jobs I've ever had, because I'm not someone that's like, as a car salesman, like the thing that you do, and it's not even like on purpose, but you have to almost, it's not like you lie, because I would never lie to people, but you over tell things, you stretch things, you make things look better than they really do, right? And like, oh man, that job made me feel so like scummy, and I'm so glad that I don't have to do that anymore.
It's like your online stats.
Yeah, it was. it was. Oh man, it was terrible. And it's not like anyone that really knows me well. They're like, I could never see you doing that. Like that's not your personality, even in the slightest. So,
what cars did you sell?
I was Toyota San Diego is where I worked. Okay. Yeah, so that's where I worked, and how I got into YouTube is actually a really funny story. So Brian actually is the person that really made me make a channel. So I had met Brian at our local gym. So I knew he had a channel. And he knew that we talked to each other via Instagram actually, because he had a channel in Instagram, and I was like interested because I was like, dude, this dude's jacked, and like I want to work out with him, and I know that he's in my area, so we ended up actually like meeting up at the gym that we both worked out at, and we kind of talked for a little bit, and then we were like, he gave me his number, we got each other's numbers, and then we ended up like working out. And then we did that a couple times, and then I ended up going to his house and like watching him do the YouTube stuff, and I was like, wow, that's a lot of stuff. Like that looks like a lot of work. Like I didn't realize. And then he was like, yeah, we're gonna have a channel for you. Like,
so you had like a mentor.
Yeah, exactly. Seriously.
And a friend. That's
yeah, he was like, you need to make a channel. I was like, dude, I don't know. Like I want to, because I kind of like mentioned it to him every time we work out. Like, yeah, I think. And he was like, no, you need to make this channel. I was like, I don't know. And then he literally like put me in front of a camera and was like, go, this is your first video. And like, it was the worst thing of all time, right? So we did like 3 to 4 videos where it was pretty much just him doing everything and then just me being in front of the camera, right? And he told me like, I was like, why are you doing all this work for me? He's like, dude, I know you are going to be bigger than me at some point, and I just want to help you. I just want to help you get there because I know that it's there. So we ended up recording a couple videos, and then he's like, and then I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna start vlogging with my. I just had a cell phone, and I just started making videos. And then from there, the way that I have any amount of subscribers, well, that I got an initial amount of like good amount of subscribers was from the viral video, obviously that like catapulted me. And then from now, what I do is I'm able to make videos full time, and I mean I have a clothing line, I have. You know, different sponsorship deals. There's other little things that you can do to make money on YouTube. So I'm not working like a 9-to-5 job anymore, which is the coolest thing. And it's not like I'm making millions of dollars or anything like that, but like I'm able to sustain what I need. I'm able to pay my bills, and that's all I can ask for. And on top of all that, I'm able to help people. So it's like literally the best thing. And like a lot of it is owed to the person behind me right now. Like. It really is so yeah, a lot of I'll always, whenever anyone asks like, how did you start your channel? I'm like, Brian Turner. Every time. So yeah, that's how that all worked out, yeah.
Yeah, that's a freaking cool. I appreciate it, man. I do, much respect. When I started YouTubing, I was a child. So I'm 22 now. I started 5 years ago, so I was 17, and at that point I was finishing up high school, and then I was transitioning into college. So in between that period, I was working a personal training job at LA Fitness, which was interesting because I got to train out people of all different types and stuff. So it was great for me to experience that kind of thing. I eventually got fired because I was YouTubing, because I got access to the gym. Maybe not, you know, the way I should have gotten access to the gym, but I snuck in at night times and I was recording videos. One of the videos went viral. It got 1 million views. It was a 100 pull-up challenge. And then my manager ended up seeing it because it was, you know, it was all over the place, and he was like,
he tried the challenge, couldn't he? That's what happened. He's like,
you embarrassed me, so you're fired.
It's like, how come all the lights were off and no one's in there? I'm like, no, I swear they were everywhere. So I got fired. It was terrible. But at the same point, I was kind of thinking like, oh man, I really like this YouTube thing. It's cool helping people, and it's cool being able to reach out to more people than just your physical location allows you. If you're a personal trainer at a gym, you can only help 25 people, and then your schedule's filled up, right? So it was cool to me that you could reach out to people in Malaysia and UK and stuff like that. So that kind of kicked my butt into shape into doing YouTube. And so I was going to college and doing YouTube, and all of last year, 2014, I put a video up every single day, and that was sort of my way of really like committing and making sure that I was going to be doing YouTube. I mean,
dedicated.
If I'm not going to work, you know, I have to make sure that I'm putting in the same amount of work that I would if I was working at, you know, a real job.
And like, well, the thing is, not to interrupt, but it's like you weren't putting up like vlogs where it was like just slapping things together. You were literally editing for hours every day.
It was rough. I've developed scoliosis because I edited for 6 to 7 hours each day, and I had this terrible form while I was doing it.
I think that's something cool to add, is because a lot of people try to do the YouTube thing, but they're not willing to put, say, like a full-time, you know, 20 or 40 hours a week.
Yeah, literal.
And it won't develop at anything if you don't.
Yeah,
that's true. And that's one of the things, especially in the beginning, like that full-time aspect was definitely there.
It's hard.
And I think that's huge for people, especially when you're beginning.
Yeah, in the beginning you have to work way harder than you're rewarded, way harder. And then eventually, as an entrepreneur, this is entrepreneurial spirit, you have to work way harder to get paid. Eventually you're going to get paid harder than you work. But you got to make that happen. You have to make that opportunity for yourself, and you have to believe in yourself. So it's a risk. There's no guarantee. You could fail, or you could continue doing it for 5 years, and eventually it ends up being something. So that's what I did. And then about 2 years ago, I opened up my clothing brand Beyond the Week. I bought hand printing like silk screening equipment, ended up printing out the first 600 myself, shipping them all out. So it was all hand prints at the beginning, and then eventually we started building up like kind of this support base. And then like he was saying, I helped him create his channel. It went viral. That kind of, you know, gave me a little bit of some like landslide fall over, subscribers and support and stuff.
Some spillover.
Some spillover, man. Which was great, and it helped me like kind of develop my channel with the people I already had, and also people who are, you know, his demographic, which is kind of like losing weight people and stuff. And essentially that's what I've been doing since. You know, the clothing brand has expanded, and now I'm not printing myself because we can't even handle that kind of a thing. I'm doing a 4-video a week schedule, Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, guaranteed a video every single. I haven't missed it all 2 years that I've been doing it, and it's excellent. It's my favorite thing in the world. Like I said, man, it's awesome to be able to work harder than you get paid, and eventually see it. It's like a video game. You start at level 1, and you keep working, you keep working, and then eventually you're like, damn, man, I'm at level whatever it is. I can go to like that special territory over there that I was always looking at, like, that's so cool, and I worked my way into it. So that's where I am now. It's just,
I love video games and analogies.
That's
video
really
games,
accurate.
So thank you so much for bringing that up.
I was getting bored, but then you brought up video games.
Like everything's like building muscle, video game.
Right?
Diminishing games.
You want to hit that 225 because it looks so damn cool, but you don't have level 66 strength yet. So you're going to work up to level 66 by killing some chickens, which is doing other exercises.
Well, but although for video games and YouTubing, it almost seems like the gold in the video game versus leveling, because diminishing gains, it's almost reverse for YouTube, because you make more. Like longer you're in. It's almost like the gold you make in Zelda. Like you make tons of rupees later on. But in the beginning, you're like scrapping for like the 1 rupee coin.
To get with the wooden sword,
But later on, like the 5s and 20s are coming in, you're just like,
whatever, man.
It gets exponential.
Yeah.
So that's, guys, you're welcome for that.
Chelsea, that RuneScape reference, I like that.
Yeah, if you're a video gamer, look at it like that when you start lifting.
Yeah, seriously. Alright, so for me, I thought I had it made right out of college. You know, I majored in exercise physiology, minored in nutrition. Right after that, got a job at a gym, and worked there for almost a year. And at the time, I was juggling that with like 2 lifeguarding jobs, and my gym job was an overnight shift. That's kind of what it turned into, and I was juggling that with 2 normal jobs that the hours didn't really line up, so there was a lot of like napping in cars for like an hour at a time, and just kind of driving all over the place. And during that time was when I started the YouTube channel, and it was really nothing during that period of time, but I had the gym to film in, and much like Brian, I ended up leaving the gym, losing my job because of YouTube. So eventually the owner saw the views starting to pick up, and him, like a lot of other people, just way overestimated what I was making from, you know, YouTube. So he said, listen, you know, if you're gonna be in here making money off of my gym, you need to pay me. And I was like, well, I can't do that, you know, my hours aren't enough, whatever. And I ended up leaving. So I lost that job, and I kind of took that as
a hint that maybe I should pursue this YouTube thing. And I honestly wasn't ready for it. I didn't have the money for it, but I was like, you know what, okay, I have this amount of money set aside, and I'm gonna try YouTube. I'm gonna use this money to pay for my food and my bills and stuff, and you know, if I run out of money, then I'll find a job. And you know, YouTube, we gave it a try, you know, whatever. And it ended up taking off. It took a lot of traveling and a lot of work, honestly. There were years where I was actually losing money on YouTube because I was upgrading equipment, you know, buying expensive cameras, buying computers to edit on. I wasn't making money, but eventually that changed, and you know, it grew and grew to the point where it's at now, and saved money that allowed me to actually open up my gym recently in Scranton, which is just really cool.
So cool.
That's what I went to school wanting to do, so that's still a really cool thing for me. And what we do there is there's myself and 2 other coaches, and we offer like powerlifting programming, weightlifting programming, just general like strength and conditioning. We're working with the University of Scranton's club teams to do strength and conditioning for them. So it's just, it's really cool because I ended up at that end point in a completely different way than I expected to. So that's really cool. That's the one thing I have going on. And obviously that gym is Raise the Bar training that gym is Raise the Bar training and performance, and along with that I have the clothing line, which is, you know, Raise the Bar. So that's like another avenue of revenue for me. And then I minored in nutrition, so for about like 6 months now I finally decided to offer macro coaching, and it's mostly females for me at this point. I have a lot of female viewers, and it's a lot more just like counseling and mentoring than it is macros, because like guys and girls are very different when it comes to weight loss and
Definitely.
the way they approach it. So that's become much less about the macros. So I have that going, and then also as an expansion of the physical gym, myself and the 2 other coaches also offer the online aspect of that. So it's the same thing. Like, even if you're just somebody in high school looking to get better at your sport, we can offer programming for that. And then we have weightlifting with Harrison Wolf, who is the co-owner of the gym, in powerlifting as well. So I've got the online training, the apparel, and the gym, which is so cool. So cool.
And I've noticed for most of all of you guys practically, there's multiple avenues of income. And how important do you think that is?
It's necessary.
The only way.
YouTube.
Yeah, you don't like. It's not one thing. At least for most people that I've talked to that do YouTube, it's not like one thing is how you're making all your money. Like, people think that like every view equals this amount of money. That's not how it works.
Or subscriber equals money.
That's not how it works. You have to be. You can have all the views in the world, but if you don't have the entrepreneurial spirit and like to capitalize on that and like really make that out of something to make yourself something, you're not gonna be doing anything. You know what I mean? And so yeah, definitely having different avenues is the most important thing, I think.
You have to understand too. For most of us, I would say like the actual YouTube revenue is not the main revenue. It's just like an additional thing that you're making. Because just the way ads have changed and software that people use, that specific part isn't really that profitable. So you have to have stuff like that. And it's cool for us because we get to do it in ways like coaching. So you're actually helping people while making money, and just a bunch of different things. And the benefit to that too is if one thing falls through, you're not just
screwed.
Completely screwed. I wasn't gonna say it, but yeah, completely screwed. So it's very important because YouTube fitness isn't this huge section of YouTube. We're all tiny compared to like the vloggers and the makeup channels. They make enough from ads, but we don't. So like you just have to expand. And you just want to have stuff for down the road if you're not doing YouTube videos forever. You want businesses to build off of and, you know, make the rest of your life happen.
And just a real small little thing I want to add in. I haven't even put commercials on my videos yet. I'm waiting until I get to 10,000 views per video before I even do that. And I'm still able to make money. So it really comes down to if you're entrepreneurial or not.
You haven't even putting ads on your...
I feel like it would be more important for me to have people enjoy the videos and not click off in the first 30 seconds because they have to watch that ad. I'd rather have that extra money just disappear and have people watch the content and help more people.
That's super cool.